We are out and about in real life.
Episode 29.
29 episodes, guys.
Yeah, big man.
This camera angle was so muddy.
It's muddy. It's fine. We keep it.
Joe, guys, scooch in.
Scooch in.
Yeah, Joe's doing the Ashley Cole, man, at Roma. He's fucking on the side and that. But guys, episode number 29. I Boozy. Shout out myself, Tom. We're joined, obviously, by MrAvalanche, the famous MrAvalanche. You know him so well. We're joined by thejoelee as well.
Hello, friends.
We got the beige boys.
I'm the only one wearing the merch.
We told you. Piss off, man. Hold that. Yeah, guys, shout out to everyone watching live. Twitch.tv/Thomas Young 1997. Definitely not the Govey name. Shout out to all the Spotify listeners, Apple Music listeners, YouTube watchers. You guys are the best. Yeah, EUIC weekend. Look at him, fortunately sprayed all over himself.
Set me up. It's always the battery cans.
Them jeans are in trouble.
It's always the battery cans. Yeah. When I tried to fucking do the cracking, it was the battery can. Yeah. Me and the Magic Man don't have a good relationship. But guys, disclaimer.
Oh yes, let's do it.
Let's see if I know it.
Let's go do something.
So this podcast is solely for entertainment purposes. We do not advocate the overconsumption or abuse of alcohol. All guests are responsible for their own alcohol consumption, and it is their responsibility to drink responsibly. So
cheers to
that.
Cheers,
boys.
Mate, you literally got that down to a T, by the way. Like, fine up. Bro. Oh my god, someone click that. That's cool.
Guys,
that's cool.
We're gonna try and keep up you guys in chat. So don't think we're not engaging. We're trying to look at our phone. Yo, we've got Shep in. We've got it's Welshie in. Oh my god, it's Wallage. Yeah,
Big up Wallage.
Wallage drinking in Wallage.
We're Shep. We're in an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location. Yeah. So guys, so if anyone who isn't aware, maybe you're not involved in the Pokemon scene like that, it's EUIC weekend, which is the European International Championships. Yeah. 3 of us competed. Some of us did better than others. So it's currently day 2 as we speak now.
Day 2, yeah.
The top
Pokemon
32.
Day 2, yeah.
Top 32. How did you boys get on, Thomas? Start with you.
2 and 2, relatively. It's okay. That's all I can really say.
Is that all you got? That's the level of conversation.
It's okay. No. But in general, it was mid. Like, so I won a couple games, lost a couple games. Yeah. Like, that's it. Could have done better, but could have done a lot worse. Yeah. But I'm not gonna go on Twitter and act like it's the end of my life.
Yeah. But it might be.
Oh, what?
It might be. Who knows?
You said you'd still be in it this time.
Yeah. You did. You were convinced you would still be in.
Fuck, but I'm late.
Yeah.
Losers round 1 starts at 1:30, but no, that's an interesting one. So like today they had the winners play like normal sort of early time, and then they had all the losers start playing at 1:30. Yeah. But like if you drop down straight from, if you lose your winners game, drop down to losers.
You got like 4 hours.
You're chilling 4 hours. Yeah. That is a long day.
Yeah. You can go get munch.
Yeah.
Team read.
Yeah, it's true. Gerard, did you go?
I went 2 and 2 as well. Can't complain. I wasn't really no, because I think the only time I started thinking about it was Monday when we started doing in practice.
Yeah. To be fair,
all my games were close. Like none of the games I didn't get folded in any of them. So it's like if I would have practiced a bit more, I probably could have.
I always think that someone said to me, what did someone say? There was like, I can't remember who it was. Said if I was playing this game as a kid, I think I'd be a lot better now. But I'm like, the game's only been out for like what? Is it 8 years this year? Yeah. It's like, how old do you know? Like 40 something. Yeah. That's just not possible.
Yeah, exactly.
The math isn't mathing.
Yeah. I did alright. I went 4 and 2. Very happy.
How many games did we win?
4, obviously.
How many games did we play?
2.
We played 2 games.
Oh no. I played 4 games, didn't I? Realistically, I got 2 buys, 1, 2, lost 2.
So how many games did you win? Did you miss that? Did it say like?
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
So 2 and 2.
Yeah,
2 and 2 for all the boys.
2 and 2.
You know what was actually interesting? I saw on Twitter this morning. Ate the Great. He said he went 2 and 2 and he got plus 50 points.
Did he?
So do we all get points?
Mate, we're cooking.
We got points for eating crayons.
Yeah. It depends, to be fair. And speaking of point, I'm just
speaking of crayons.
How we not? Look how he's got that point. Look, it's on the camera. I've just noticed. Yeah. Guys, we also have another special guest. Yeah. It's JD Underdog. Yeah. Can we get the Wiglet up? Show Wiglet to the cam. Big up the Wiglet.
Big up the Wiggy.
Yeah, I big up JD Underdog on his run as well.
He did well. Shout out Jay. Big up the M6.
Yeah, it's a shame he choked harder than Riley Reid.
Jesus.
He's but mate, you live and you learn.
He cooked. He did cook.
To be honest, like especially like I think we spoke about this before, where the World Championships are in Hawaii this year.
Yeah.
I would not go to Hawaii for Pokemon.
Well, so many more people that have like realistically like have better chances of qualifying are all like, oh, I don't think I'll qualify because of the CP system. They don't have any locals, so they can't farm them to get like the points they need to get the travel award. That's the main thing. It's not even like the farming the points to qualify is a different argument altogether. But if you like won a regional or like a special event and then you're not able to qualify because there's no locals for you to farm, like it's a weird system. I don't really know how
to be fair, I did see a tweet yesterday. I won't mention names because we're not trying to get cancelled. But yeah, I did see someone who is
I'm trying to scrap him.
Wait, was it the tweet I said?
Who's managed to farm points from his locals and has basically not made out the first round of any of the big tournaments at all.
Yeah, they struggled in the last few at least.
Which to hold that first of all. No, mate, I've spoken about this before. You shouldn't be farming locals, man. You should be able to qualify for World Championship purely for locals. Like, because then when you qualify for World, it's supposed to be the world's best, right?
Yeah.
So you should have some kind of,
Not Woolwich is best.
Yeah, I guess some kind of like stature to your name to say that like, I've
the-
won this tournament.
What's the sort of like consensus on, say, like regions like fucking APAC and LATAM who don't really have a lot of regionals and stuff, and obviously they have to rely on locals. So like, for instance, I'll say his name because it's not a shade. Like you say, qualify purely through local events. He lives in New Zealand and doesn't have any. Shout out you say, by the way, great battler, great.
I was gonna say, I think the thing he could have qualified. I think you say could just win anyway.
Yeah.
Like he has the knowledge.
I think it's
like king level knowledge.
I mean, the same with everyone. Like it works both ways. Sometimes you're very fortunate as to where you live. Like it's the case in life. Like, quality, it's like you've got quality of life features and stuff. Okay, Italy, UK, France, Belgium have lots of regionals, but then like some of the Scandinavian countries don't have any, and then they feel like they're sort of gate kept based on where they live. I think it's just like. It's one of those things, like wherever you live in the world, there's going to be opportunities available for you that aren't available for others. So it's a privilege thing. I think people just need to try and work around it, or just move.
If you can't farm locals, just make them.
Yeah, just find locals. Do your training.
Yeah, so I'm glad I didn't try anyway. I'm happy about how I got on, but like I said, man,
you played Acton, didn't you?
Yeah, I got packed in. I got put in a split.
How was that? Because for a lot of people, it's like they'll play someone, whether it's like their favorite streamer or like a very good battler they've seen on like on stream the Pokemon Go like competitive series. How is it just playing someone that's like respectfully is considered? What do you do personally to think like? Do you prepare for that?
Do you know what? So I've done. Obviously, I played in EUIC last year.
Yeah.
Liverpool this year and this one, and like the sheer like difference in quality of player was so noticeable. It was like I've kind of felt like every other game that I've played, I could be like, right, I can see where I would have, like if I'd have played different, I'd have won. But playing against Axon was, mate, it's different. There was at no point in the two games that I was even like,
there was a bit of momentum.
Yeah, like there was nothing. It was fucking weird. It was so weird. It actually felt like I was playing a top level player. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean,
he's the world champion.
You were.
Yeah, but it's like so in the first game when I thought I was doing really well, and I was like, right, I might have like a chance. Literally within the space of like 15 seconds, like it was just completely gone. Like some people's knowledge of the game is just so like much more advanced than what I have, especially in Great League. Fuck Great League, we don't play that shit.
Big up the Wales, big up the Dolphins.
No, it was definitely like you could tell the difference in the caliber of player. Was massive. And to be fair, he went on tear as well. So like I said, first game, I felt like I maybe like had a chance, and within like 15 seconds, it was gone. Second game, genuinely, I'd have probably done better if I'd not played. No, I was in to the point where he just read my entire team, and then even when I was like, right, to pivot this game, this is what I need to do, and like instantly he like adjusted how he played. It was
Mate,
he
ran through Vince and then you.
Mate, it was it was weird. It was the first player I've played at any of these events that I've actually been like, right, I genuinely had like no chance at all. Like I think even if I had like a hard counter team, I think I probably still would have lost.
No,
just purely based on like the lack of knowledge that I have for Great League.
To be fair, I don't think I've had a game. I don't think I've gone into any game and think like I just have no. I sometimes I go into games and think, okay, like I know this person's good. Like you can kind of base it on teams, like or names as well. But like you look at someone's team and it's like, okay, and if you're not really like you're not overly familiar with them and the team's not, then like in the most polite way possible, you probably like. I hate those sorts of games because you naturally play a little. You probably play a little sloppier than you would.
No, well,
in comparison to playing like the current world champion.
No. So to be fair, so just to like clear up what I'm saying, I didn't go into the game with the mindset, right? Because to me it was just another game. Like I've played enough competitive games in my life to know how to approach it. So it's not like I went in with the mindset of I'm going to lose. I like read the team sheet and I was like, right, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But as soon as the gameplay started, like you could just tell there was like the move timing. Like stuff like that, like
it's scary how technical you can get, isn't it? Like you think you have an understanding,
definitely,
and then not, but like that you're on the surface of that, and they just like on another level.
It just comes with practice and experience. Obviously, like Axon being the trainer he is, we all know him for a reason. Like he's gonna have that sort of like his sort of base level of understanding is higher than a lot of other people's base level. Like his is advanced. I'm saying base because for him it's base, but like for us it's like it could be considered quite technical, like Joe was saying, and very advanced. But at the same time, it's not to say without practice you wouldn't be able to get to a sort of like equal level of understanding. Because I feel like the skill level between a lot of like top players, like Axon went out, loses round 1 today. Yeah. Granted, he went out. It wasn't like a European battler, but like he went out, loses round 1 today in day 2. He went out to Caleb Peng. So it's like, so many of these good players can all beat each other on any given day.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about Americans coming over to England?
Mate, I guess we can.
But like to be honest, it's like I see it both ways. Like the ones that have come over and are doing quite well. I think only a few like maybe notable ones didn't actually. I know Rise didn't make day 2. I think Arrow did. Doombug did. Obviously still in. And then like Wadaj just came over because he was spectating anyway. Yeah. So
me and my son.
Like I do understand coming over, but like I think maybe I see it from a point of view that I wouldn't go to like New Orleans. To compete.
Do you know what it is? I think mainly within the PvP community, the Americans are quite toxic.
They give it large.
Like they do give it large. So I think, like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that a lot of them have like come over. Obviously, like
for like the socials and stuff. I'm sure they're nice guys, but it's like
but the way they approached it just came across in like a way that isn't like sportsman like, I guess.
I think if you look at
like.
That's one way.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I say like I look at like if you're good enough, like I said, like the skill level between like top players is very like it can be like small discrepancies, but like if you're good enough, you can justify the trip. But then it comes down to how much practice you put in, how much free time you have. If you've got a full-time job, realistically, or like you're a carer, you've got children, you're married, like you might not have that luxury of just being able to play willy-nilly, or just being like, right, to the missus, I'm fucking off to London for
exactly. But then, to be fair, I think even if I was great, even if I was quality, I wouldn't go to New Orleans because I don't know. Like I feel like maybe it's different because we live here, but like I wouldn't go to New Orleans and be like, right, I'm just gonna go sit in a venue. Like I would want to go and explore a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, I made a bigger deal about it is because you look at the other sort of Pokemon, like the games that are in. People from all over the world come to these events. It's not a big deal. Like we were saying, watching Unite, weren't we? Like, there's people from Japan have come. It's like, it's not like American takeover. It's like I know it's called the EUIC, but you can if you get a ticket, you can come. It's not like some big takeover.
I think with Go, it became like a bigger thing maybe for 2 reasons. First reason was sort of because Nighttime Classic came to Liverpool and won the whole thing. Yeah. So that made that sort of like it carried on from there as like a sort of not even a meme, but like just a thing. From there, like he come over American, but then the thing is, it's not his first time in Europe. He's actually casted in Europe and competed in Europe before. So there's that, and then 2, it's the first season where Go have had like the championship point system. So in previous seasons, Americans could probably just stay at home and like maybe go as far as Canada and qualify that way. There was no locals, no championship points, so they've kind of had to come.
They
felt like
they've got their wiglets up.
They felt like they had to come, and they did.
Their wiglets are up for championship points because all they want their travel award now. Like all their man, because you see, nighttime clash of Dubai, they will hit 1,000 championship points now for that travel award.
Yep. Yeah. See, but then this is the other way that I would look at it. So, wait, so you need 1,000 points for the travel award? Is that
No. Whoever has the most.
That's just what the top end of the leaderboard is.
The top 8 people or something.
Yeah. So like they're not like I know like Elenius Rajev's up there. Like basically that's why people that have even on paper qualified for Worlds are still farming locals. So they're higher up on like not only their regional leaderboard but like the global one as well. Just so they can get like if they get travel awards and then it gets passed down to like stipends and stuff. I don't really know that much about it, but I just know
we're not going far enough to find out.
No, exactly.
No, but then I think so. For example, if we use Doombug as an example, obviously top level player, and he was already high on the leaderboard anyway, right?
He's won 2 regionals this season.
But then so like realistically, he's not going for the travel award, right? Because he's already got it. Realistically.
What do you mean? No, you don't get travel award anymore from winning the regional.
From the point system.
As in, if he remains where he is, and realistically, unless someone does a badness at EUIC and maybe NIC, no one's gonna
like knock him out of that.
No, well, there's a few that could actually, like on paper, but yeah, realistically, he's up there. He's one of the names.
Yeah, but then, do you not think like spending those thousands of dollars to come
get
over
there
here
in the first place,
right? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's such a risk because there's not like a big like reward. I think especially if you come to like a championship like this, well, obviously like there is obviously prize money, but if you're flying from America, you basically have to place high to make your return, right?
There is a risk. So like good examples like Ventuski, he qualified for day 2, won his group. Last year he went 0-2. So it's like sometimes it's just like double elimination is just such a harsh system because they don't do it in any other games.
No, they're all Swiss.
But I'll speak to someone I went to uni with that plays in the video games, and he was asked how I do. When one to one I said I did 3, 2, 2. He was like, oh, like why do you only play 5 games? And like double elimination for us, whereas they get like a guaranteed sort of tournament out of it. Yeah. So even if he goes like I'm going to play 10 maybe. If he goes like 5-5 or like 8-2, he's still got the same amount of games and the same amount of sort of experience under his belt. Yeah. But then with us, like, you could go 0-2 and joke about 0-2.
It's like if you take Liverpool for example, I was the early start, wasn't I? Yeah. So I was done by like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, think about how they stagger these tournaments here. So like, I looked at it. I'm like, the time that I went out, I'm like, Amy, that's the only example I've got, was like starting. So like the later slots, like Jay's.
Yeah, we sort of finished.
They were like, and the same with me. I started 11:15.
We didn't start 11:15.
A little later, closer to 12. But most of the Donnies from like A, B, and C maybe.
Still going.
No, but some of them gone out. Like your tournament's done by the time.
Yeah, like your whole weekend's over.
Some people have qualified for day 2 before like another Donny who's even like got out of bed. Like it's crazy.
I mean, to be fair, it's a poor system. I think unless like you are already like established within the scene, I think it puts a lot of new players off because like I think a lot of these events is so different to like sitting and doing GBL at home.
Yeah.
Right, but as you said, if you got 0-2, you're not really getting experience out of that.
No, but that's why I think the locals are good. That's a sort of like a tick for the local box, as in if you can't really justify maybe taking time off work and paying money for like travel expenses, accommodation, all that jazz to go to like one of these regionals or international championships, then just rock up to the local card shop and then just try and play. But then obviously everyone's using it for their own like I can't say selfish because it kind of is, but like their own game. They're doing it for their own benefit. Which you can't knock someone for doing that.
See, I think my only problem with the locals as well is the fact that they charge for them. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
It's because they do prizes and stuff. So it's like
but in that only like packs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get that championship pack. Like Karim went to one in Nottingham that was near me that I couldn't go to because I was working. Also, shout out Karim, did very well in the tournament. He went to one in Nottingham that I think Sammy went to, a few others, Aerobubble, a few others went to. And then he ended up like winning like a powder and fakes box, which is worth like 20 quid. So like some of them you get actually like decent prizes,
but you still have to go. You still have to win, and if you lose the game,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Pay £10 to get folded.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be good, and it would maybe make the locals better if
free and no prizes. Obviously, with championship points available.
Well, so like if they did like even just practice like tournaments, free entry, but maybe you get like I don't know 5 championship points, for example, like basically minuscule, but it gives people the opportunity to go and just like experience it without having to like put money into it.
This was the big thing I saw, kind of linking back to what I said before from you saying sort of Fred and other sort of counter threads that came from it. It's either like the CP system for regionals ICs need to be bumped up way more, or the ones on locals need to be scaled down less. I agree with cups being like you can gain like 12 from them, because that's in the grand scheme of things. If you're from Europe, you need like what was it 300?
Yeah, 500, isn't it?
No, America's like 100.
It must be 400 for the EU, because I know
Karim's got 360 out of what. Yeah, so it's 400 for Europe, and then it's 300 for LATAM, 200 for Oceania, and then 500 for America, because they typically have more regionals in a season. But like they either need to make it so farming like it's less OP, or they need to like reduce the allowance, because some people can like most of their points can come from locals, and they get like what maybe one decent run, maybe a top 16, not even a top cut.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's good enough.
Yeah, I mean, like
it goes back to that thing you were talking about earlier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like don't get me wrong. I think you should be able to make up the vast majority of your points from locals, but I do think like realistically, bear in mind it's to qualify for the World Championships, right? It's not like something you could just rock up to willy nilly.
You should have at least top cut.
Right. So
day 2.
You know, it should maybe be at least like I don't know, like 90% local, 10% regional.
Yeah. I'm thinking of an example. It's kind of related, but kind of not. So the underground Discord server basically have a thing where if you hit legend a certain amount of times, you get a roll, and their sort of best roll. You hit legend less amount of times than one of the other roles, but you need to have a minimum of 3,500 elo. Yeah. So like I feel like maybe with some of the point systems, you hit X amount of points, but you need to have like maybe top cut
for definite
in an event, because like I said, if you farm the locals enough, like I know people like Nabil Siler, don't get me wrong, Nabil, nice guy, great guy. He's not top cut like a single event, and he has sort of the points quota, but he's kind of hit his points quota for the locals now.
Man's just calling people out now.
He needs to go. I'll say it respectfully.
No, it's right.
It's like this is the only example I have. I know he's done very well at the locals. Like gone all over the UK, and it's impressive what he's done. But like without a good run at a tournament, he won't be able to compete for the travel award.
Yeah. Do you not think that maybe like, especially like if you do well at locals, you don't show up at regional? Do you think maybe that's a time where you kind of like reconsider like the point of you doing it type thing, as in, so like, okay, so say for example, right, you're like, right, I want to go to World.
Yep.
I've got limited budget, but I can make it work. Right, so you do well at the locals, and then you keep like failing, not failing, like underperforming at the regionals.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe at some point you go, okay, like maybe I save this money that I budgeted, because it might be a waste.
Yeah, no, I mean, from a personal point of view, sometimes I think like, is it worth going again? But for me, I remember that I go to these tournaments not just for the tournament. I go there for like you guys, see other people in the community I don't get to see every day.
That's a whole different thing.
But from a tournament perspective, then maybe if the last few are not going well, like I'll put myself in someone else's shoes and just think, if the last few ain't going well, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was, or I just need a bit more practice.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, I'd probably say like maybe we curb it for a little. Maybe use the locals as like practice, or just scrim. Like find people to practice with. You don't have to pay the money to get the same sort of like show 6 experience, but I guess being up on stage and being in the tournament, is a bit.
It's different because you're in that environment.
Yeah. It's all about the environment. I mean, mate, like honestly, like I must admit, like. Especially like Thursday picking up the pass, I wish I'd have just got a spectator's pass. I was just like, I feel like I was over it before it already begun type thing. Yeah. Like I don't know, it's obviously nice to see everyone hang out, whatever.
You have a weird relationship with this game.
No, I do.
I'm unsure how to really like tackle it.
Yeah, no, but like I don't know, like I feel like I don't know.
You've achieved quite a lot in the game that you set out to already. So
no, not even that. It just felt like more of a chore than like fun. Like, so I had like the 9 AM slot.
Yeah.
And mate, the breaks between the games were fucking like so long, and like by the time I like got 2 fucking buys in the beginning, I'd been sat there for like 2 hours and actually not played a single person.
My logic's always
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that. My logic's always been if something begins to feel like a chore, like more of a chore than actual enjoyment and fun, I stopped doing it. That's why I stopped running. I enjoyed it to a point where it was fun, and then got injured, and then we didn't really enjoy it when I was starting to get fit again. So I was like, I just stopped.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't bringing me any pleasure or joy, so I just didn't do it. But yeah, I guess everyone's different. Like some people, like if they know that they can do better than they're doing, might persist with it and push through. Yeah, guys, we've got Unite.
Yeah,
sorry, we are watching it.
Sorry.
We've got Pokémon UNITE on in the back, so
yeah, but no, you're right.
Let's go cabbage.
But like I said, like I don't know, like don't get me wrong, I know it's nothing to do with the staff because the staff obviously do a great job.
Yeah.
Shout out to the staff because they're all volunteer as well.
That is epic. I think a lot of it is just like actually like the people, and I think EUIC. So you have people like our good friend Elian Elmo, who was unable to get a ticket to compete because they'd sold out already. Granted, he did miss it. He
was half an hour late for a ticket.
But like, there were so many people that just didn't show, and it was obvious that it was like, right, all they want is the goodie bag. Yeah. And that was it because they checked in. Yeah. That's why they obviously came up on the.
The thing is, it's hard to remove some of these from the back as well. Like there was realistically a lot of people that weren't going to be able to show up. So I think for something like EUIC at least, maybe it's difficult for the regionals. I don't know. I'm not involved in that space, but they should have at least been able to redistribute.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be like
they did last year, didn't they?
I thought they did.
Last year they like we got more tickets. Like
I think maybe that could have just been for like increased interest.
Yeah.
They realised that shit we could hit 256 like tickets sold.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been interesting if like say like I don't know how they would do it, like especially on like the entry, like you had to like basically like scan in as you enter to say that you're there. If it gets to a certain point before, then they could be like, oh right, we've got like last minute tickets.
That's the whole point. Yeah, that's the whole point of us like checking in, so you can work out how many numbers you have on a day. Obviously, you've got 10 groups. Yeah. Of 32 people. I could have got that wrong. Maybe less group, maybe more groups and less people. But 16 groups and 20 people. Must say 32 people in a group. But like, yeah, so they could have done it that way. But I guess because they try and set it up in advance and they close team sheets and team registration in advance, then maybe it's not possible. Again, I don't know. I'm not involved in that space. Yeah. But I just feel like it's a shame that people that want to compete can't compete, and then people that have their entry sorted don't turn up, and it's like, well, then obviously people like, we'll use Josh as an example, so we're not calling anyone else out, gets 3 wins. It's not Josh's fault, like by any means, but it's a shame that the system is sort of designed that.
But even then, like getting those 3 wins was like I said, it was more annoying to me because like I was there on time, right? Sat there for 15 minutes, no one shows up. They go, right, you get a 3 win, cool. And then an hour goes by, next game. Sit down, they're on time. Opponent doesn't show up. And it's like come on.
You have to rock up, obviously be there, present, on time, like you said, just to get those wins.
And it's like I don't know, like at that point I was just kind of over it type thing. Like I feel like if I cared more, I'd be like, right, cool, like easy fucking 3 wins, I can study my next opponent. But for me, it's not like that.
No, I get that. Joe, what was it like for you being one of the later slots?
I mean, my first one was a buy-in. It was like I think I spent more time waiting for.
It's annoying
because they're like because it put an asterisk next to the guy's name. So
the asterisk is for headphones.
No, it's not. I mean /H.
/H was headphones.
No. I asked the judges. That's what they said.
No, it was /H headphones.
No, genuinely, I said because my first opponent had it, and I said, what does that mean? They said, it's because they only use earphones.
Who did you play?
I don't remember who it was.
It was a buy.
I swear the /H was headphones.
I don't know at least was headphones. Anyway, but CCO was like, oh yeah, well, you got to wait 15 minutes for your opponent.
I thought it was 10. It's not usually 15.
However long it was, I'm sitting there, and I think it took my momentum out. To be honest, because I was sitting there ready to go, and then they're like, "Oh, you got to wait," and you're sort of sitting there.
It's not always like that though. If you know for a fact your opponent isn't hitting.
Yeah, but I didn't know that, so I was unsure. I didn't know what to focus.
That's what I mean. Yeah. No, that is the flaw in the system.
So So it did, and not did annoy me, but then I had to play Paul Asher after, and I just didn't feel like I was that locked in because. So I reckon.
This is what I said. Playing like people that are maybe it's their first tournament, maybe they don't quite understand. You need to enter 6 Pokemon, not 3. You know, I say you can play.
Yeah, come on. What sort of team did you play? If you're telling us off having 5.
I played Papados in the first game.
You had Raikou.
Papados was not running a Raikou.
Wait, the guy you played in the second round had a Raikou.
No. I played Papados and then I played.
Gee.
Talk about me spunking the game. I played Papados and then I played Dane, who ended up making it into day 2.
Oh, then you dropped to losers, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I dropped to lose. I was 1-0 up now. I should have just started Reggie double fly. Okay, but then I dropped down and ended up playing what was his name, Vanikworth, which to be honest, it's a flaw in the system because I would have played realistically. I would have played.
Here he goes.
I would have played someone better. I would have played IBQ, but he wasn't able to make it. So that meant that meant this guy got like a free win from there, and it's like I looked at like some of the people in my group and other groups that sort of progressed and got to the same stage as me, and it's like, listen, I know there's people a lot better than me in the most polite way possible. I know I'm not amazing at the game, but I know that there are people that are also a lot worse than me that did about the same and done nothing for it really. So it's like,
you can say my name, it's alright.
No, Joe. No, but in all seriousness, it's like it is a flaw in the sort of like the.
It's hard to fix anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any suggestions other than like I'll maybe try run Swiss.
Let Thomas just pick who he wants to play all through the tournament.
Yeah, respectfully, I hope they all do well.
Yeah.
So
respectfully, everyone did do well, especially Mike's mum. Shout out Mike's mum. Going further than Mike.
That's it.
Yeah, I kind of wish I'd got spectator pass. Oh, actually, no, I don't. I wouldn't have got any pass realistically. I wouldn't have. Like,
you wouldn't have been able to go in the hall, but I guess you wouldn't have been able to watch.
Mate, this guy don't want to go. This guy don't want to go in the hall anyway.
You can watch Unite on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
We're literally sitting here watching what we watch.
But then it's like I was going to see everyone, you know, at the social.
At the Alien Castle.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
what did Ilian get a spectator?
No,
Ilian didn't get anything.
Ilian just rocked up when the music was on.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
He came with the gobs.
But yeah, to be fair, while we've got this on in the background, to be fair, I do want to talk about this. So I put in the LBA group chat about watching Unite, and Adelian was like, "Oh, is it any good?" Man, I wish this Pokemon variant got more love. It's so good to watch. I actually think it is by a country mile the most entertaining.
It's very action packed, and I said it the other day. Like I know I said to Joe at least, like when the Unite crowd were going wild. Obviously, they don't have as many tournaments, so there's that as well. But
they're the loudest crowd.
Oh, by a mile, yeah.
To be fair, the Go crowd was better today than it was yesterday.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But still, the Unite crowd was much better.
Yeah, I heard it on the stream. Sometimes, like, you can tell who the reactions are, because obviously all the crowds are together in the venue. But with Unite, like, it's the only proper team game where you're like, you need someone like you to, like, us three, 2 other people, or whatever, like, you play. Whereas Go, obviously, it's very individual, VGC, TCG, you get the picture.
Yeah, it's hard. But, like, I think in terms of, like, actual, like, watchability, for me, watching Go on a stream, it does nothing for me.
I said that to you earlier.
It does nothing.
Unless you have, like, a personal, I even said this to Maxi yesterday outside your pub, like, unless you have, like, a personal interest, i.e., like, if you two were playing, I'm sure, like, if there's a personal interest,
a close friend,
in, like, a friend, teammate, maybe even a relative, if you're Mike. But it's like, if you have a personal like interest in that sense, you know, you're gonna like Jay yesterday. The amount of people that like
because we literally stayed to watch Jet, or we would have left ages ago. Shout out them.
But like,
wish we left.
Mate, you didn't need to get on the beers any earlier than you did.
But then like, I think in terms of actual watchability, I think Unite's so fucking underrated.
Yeah.
I think it's such a good, and as you said, it's the only team-based Pokemon eSport that we have.
Team-based format, yeah.
And like, I think it looks more complicated than it is, but it's so enjoyable to watch.
Speaking of team-based, they got rid of the Go team side of it.
Mate, I was ready for us.
We were going to dominate it.
We came second last year, me, Mo, and Joe.
Yeah, mate, I was ready. I was ready for the 3 of us to get on it. Well and truly. Yeah, man, fucking Unite. Unite needs more love, 100%. It's so underrated. I think like because I feel like especially, you know, we'll use Go as an example.
Yeah.
Unless you kind of know what's happening, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No.
I think Go's a good example of that, because you were telling me earlier about George was telling me he was speaking to some people that are staying in his hotel that are American that play TCG, and they have no idea about. He was like, "Oh, I'm playing Go," and it was like, "What, the one where you just tap on your phone?"
Yeah.
And I think from the outside it looks like that.
No. Do you know what it is? I think that's spot on. I don't think that is from the outside. I think that is correct. It is.
Even people that don't understand.
And do you know what? Like you can say about the skill, blah blah, like counting, blah blah, whatever. But realistically, when you break it down, at the end of the day, it is tapping and drawing patterns. Yeah, like realistically, and I think. And so a lot of people don't understand. So these streams, generally speaking, are not for the hardcore players. It's to try and draw new people in to play, right? Because most people who play, right, know anyway, regardless, right? But the amount, like, the actual number of people who know how to play and actually watch these streams makes up such a minimal amount of the viewer count. It's all about drawing new people in. So that's why they have, you know, like the cut sections where they talk about like the really basic like concept. That's the point.
That's why they're not also Delian has told me that when he's obviously Delian's been a caster and a judge and obviously a competitor as well, so he's very well like known in the community. You're not allowed to mention certain things like as a caster. And when I say that, it's not like any like fucking, you know, disclaimer they have to sign or anything like that. You can't say this, but like a simple example is you're not allowed to talk about like break points, bulk points, or anything like that, because the average player will not understand what that means. 100%. So you have to sort of quote unquote dumb down your commentary to be able to appease sort of a greater, you know, fraction of the audience that are generally casual players or people like Josh said that are just looking to start out and they're just watching these streams, and then they're gonna make a decision as to whether they think, you know, they're good enough in their own head to attend one of these tournaments.
Yeah, for definite. And that's why I think Unite should get more love.
Unite trophies look sick, by the way. I know it's like a cup thing, but like, they look sick.
Should get more love than it does because it's kind of basic to understand and it's entertaining to watch. There's like actual, you know, action that's happening, which obviously always helps.
Is there any like? I'm guessing this might be a dumb question, but it shows how much I really watch Unite. You know, I don't play them anymore at all, but. Literally, so is it all team based?
Yeah, like, it's all team based.
So I know obviously you can like, I played it enough to know that you can like solo queue and stuff like that. But there's no solo queue at like a competitive level or anything.
No, but so they've recently. It's quite interesting. So they're trying to make it more competitive. I've not played in ages because the developers basically don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they've recently put in like a really like good. Like positive change for the competitive scene. So I don't know. Do you know how the ranking works in Unite?
Sort of like obviously you can get to like what is it like in Pokemon PvP and GB you have Legend, right? In Pokemon Unite you have like Masters.
Yeah,
right?
Masters, right?
Yeah.
So once you hit Masters, the rules set in game change, right? Okay. So if you go into a bog standard game of ranked, it's just 5v5, right? You can pick whoever. When you get to Masters, it changes to the competition rules. Yeah. So as soon as you hit Masters, there's bans each game. Yeah. And you have to pre-select what role you want to play. If you want to play an attacker, defender, supporter. Yeah. Because it makes the games more competitive to play. So you get more balanced teams as opposed to going into a game and going, right, I'm going to play attacker, and you end up with 5 attackers in your team because no one wants to.
No one wants to go bottom.
But then on top of that, they've introduced the bans as well in ranked, which was never there before. And ranked is a competitive thing, so both teams vote and ban Pokemon. So like, I think that's super advanced.
Spices it up a bit. It's not all just like, you know, you rock up with Go and stuff. Obviously, you have bans and stuff like, you know, the Galarian birds and some other stuff due to like Holucha and stuff. But there's no like proper like bans or something like that could change each tournament. So it's like, for one tournament, imagine if you could just ban like Skarmory. Well, and then everyone has to sort of build around that. Like, there's no Skarmory now. I think it would just, you know, add like a new dynamic, or whether they have like, obviously we've all played Sylph in some, you know, some regard, whether it's factions or whether it's actually Sylph meta. But so like if they even had like custom metas, that's been an argument for ages.
Yeah, I mean, like who did I speak to this about yesterday? I don't know who I spoke to about. That's one of the reasons why I'm really not asked about competitive Pogo, because like you've only got to look at the graphics for the top 12 mons, and it's the same shit.
You could build your team based on that graphic, which a lot of people do.
Constantly. I think it would be really interesting if they got like the top players, as in like the top players, top cup regionals, sit down and go, right, we want to switch it out. What changes could we make that would cycle different mons in?
Even the staff could do that because they're knowledgeable of the game.
Yeah,
they have to be.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it'd be really interesting to do it, the same as, VCG, TCG, where there's bans.
Ban lists,
right?
And stuff.
Or
right?
even if you do what they used to do in, they did it in King of the Hill or something. Is you bring 8.
You bring 8
and you can ban. So you get to ban 2. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's just
because
I'm more interested
than
here's the
I love King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Well.
Because
respectfully, that wasn't a question.
Because I think for me, like I say, it's one of the things that puts me off. There's no variety. There's no like freedom.
You can feel a bit stale.
Yeah.
Unless there's there's a move update.
I mean, it's one of the things that
even the move update didn't have much of a difference. We've got a few shadow gators.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things that put me off like playing Call of Duty, like competitive level I used to, and now I just watch it because it was basically right. If you don't use this gun with these attachments, you're going to get outclassed, right? It's the exact same as playing Go, right? If you don't bring
at least 3 of these
yeah,
teams
I think it's pretty accurate to say 99% of people bring at least 3 of the top 12 most used mons on their team. I don't think that's like an understatement.
If you just pick the top 6 off of that, you could have a team.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I don't know. For me, that just isn't interesting.
But I guess that graphic is good for new players.
Yeah,
who don't know
it's good. But then, in terms of watchability, so how many regionals are there a month? 1, 2?
No, in Europe it's like 1 a month. So obviously you'll have like 1 in September, a special event in September, 1 in October, 1 November.
Yeah.
So it's on a monthly basis.
Yeah, but then include like America as well. So we'll say 2 a month, right?
Well, sometimes
like realistically,
once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, like realistically, it's twice a month. You can fucking pause one month, watch it 2 weeks later, and you can almost guarantee that the same fucking teams are being run.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no variety. There's no there's no differences that are made.
Yeah. I'm just listening to you now while watching this. So ban phase, they have like a little moment where they can deliberate as a team and ban and unite.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so they've recently updated this. So you should only get 1 ban. They've now updated it for 2.
Okay.
Because there's so many mons that just dominate the meta, basically.
Yeah.
But so basically, you kind of ban to adhere to the playstyle you want.
Yeah.
There's so many different playstyles you can play in this. So so then they've banned 2 here. But then this is what's interesting. So now, to say he picks the Dodrio, right? The other team can't pick Dodrio. It's already picked. It's gone. So all the teams are always going to be unique with different.
That's fun in itself. It's not like obviously you'll have some mons that are quite like dominant in their respective positions.
But then so it basically means you have to have a knowledge of a wide roster, basically.
But that goes into a different skill of a draft, doesn't it? Because you think of other mode, I played 2,000 hours of Dota, so I did lots of drafting of teams. So it comes to a similar thing. And that's a whole other skill set. Like before you even start playing the game, it gets techie. Drafting is harder than playing the game.
It's 100%. Because if someone's not on the same wavelength as you, your entire team comp goes out the fucking window, basically. Yeah. And it makes the game 10 times harder. It'd be interesting to see them do like a draft, side tournament. And he says side quest.
Motive.
I feel like when we looked at it yesterday. During the actual event, we looked at it yesterday, and there was like a go. It said drafted.
Was it?
Yeah, but I didn't really look into it and see what.
I don't think those go side events never take off.
And can I just say, speaking of those, the side quests, fucking up. Right. Apart from the ones like the cups give you CP, they should not be charging for them. They should be free. Right. You'd get more people doing them. Give maybe spectators chance to get involved in them as well.
They didn't give a free entry like they usually do.
But it's like Mate, I've paid 40 quid to even be there. I'm not paying 10, 20 quid to take part in a side event.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that is wrong. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you got to spend money like we're going to the Pokemon tournament, aren't we? Like, why would you want to spend? Not like if you're thinking about it, if you have a limit on it, you wouldn't want to spend your money on side events when you can actually buy stuff.
Actual stuff.
Yeah, because the side events just get you obviously tokens for the prize wall, where you can obviously get some cool prizes and whatnot.
But cut the middleman out and go to the shop if you want it.
Yeah, literally, yeah. You know, like I said, I mean, to me, I genuinely think 40 quid is too much.
Extortion.
Too much. And I know people are going to say, oh, but you know, you get the goodie bag, it's worth this, that, the other. Look up how much the Pokemon company is worth.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not the point that the goodie bag, is it?
Yeah. Like for me,
you can sell it for more than you pay.
Yeah.
But then
the whole thing of Go is like you build a community, you get something.
Yeah.
You can build a community as long as you've got the funds for it.
Yeah. And I do think that 40 quid is excessive in my personal opinion. Yeah. Especially if you go, the tournaments are running late, 2 people don't show up, you sat there for 2 hours, and then you go 0-2.
Yeah,
right.
Like, that is a long day.
Right, like you paid 40 quid for that.
You've paid 40 quid to get folded.
Yeah, basically.
20 quid per game. That's
what it boils down.
That's the realistic nature of double elimination, though, because the minimum amount of games that you are guaranteed is 2. Yeah. And the maximum,
they should do Swiss.
But even if it was just like 20 quid, that's so much better. So much fucking better. And the thing is, 40 quid makes it expensive as well. Like especially if not Go, it doesn't really happen. But like TCG, I've seen like a lot of families go and take part in them. Yeah. Mate, so if you go and you take your 2 kids, that's 120 quid.
Yeah. It can be a deal breaker. It can be a deal breaker for a lot of people in terms of the cost.
It's a lot. It's the same as like Go Fest, right? Obviously, we're all doing Madrid, right? Right. You know, you've booked flights, hotel, and then your base ticket's 29 quid, but that's for like 1/3 of the experience. Yeah. Right. If you want the full experience, which realistically, if you're paying the money anyway, right?
If you're there anyway, you might as well.
Yeah. But then, what did I work out? I think it worked out like with all the add-ons, it's like 130 quid. And it's like again, if you're going there for like a holiday with, the kids,
you're more inclined to do it because you want not only you, but like I'm not parent or foreign, you want them to have like that sort of whole experience, not a bit part of an experience. And I guess it's the same with these tournaments, like especially I know in video game and TCG it's a lot, but like even in Go, like you'll have people that it's not only them that has to go, it's like their parents, family, you know. So it's a whole for some people. Like for us, I guess it's a bit different. Where none of us, you guys don't have kids, do not to your knowledge, no. But like we don't have any children, so it's like we can just rock up. Whereas you have to bring the whole family.
Yeah, but then this also then links back to what we said about the locals. Yeah. I think it'd be interesting for Pokemon to put like a pot of money aside to fund free tournaments for people to go and experience them for free before they then go right. Now we might put the money in.
Try before you buy.
Yeah, literally. And
Monzo Flex, the Pokemon tournament.
I don't know. It makes it feel very like inaccessible, especially if like money is tight. Especially, I'll use England as an example where like cost of living is like a real problem. Mate, like for some people, Pokemon Go is their hobby because obviously it's free to play. Yeah. But if you want to have like quote unquote a level of like luxury in your life, mate, like some people don't have 40 quid like to spare. They just don't.
It's a lot of money. Like 40 quid is.
Yeah.
The thing that goes around is like if you can't afford it, like was it like I don't know how many times over, but if you like some people like they have just enough money for like a watch or like a Fendi hoodie. But if they can't afford it like several times over, you can afford that one-off transaction. Yeah. But then like you've set yourself up for a month of eating fucking soup and noodles and fork.
Where's the
soup with a fucking fork. It's like, is it wise? I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you how to make money.
No, do you know what the thing is? I absolutely agree, but I think as human nature, you do need a level of like enjoyment.
So to look forward.
Oh yeah, no, it's your money. If you've earned it, send it. But at the same time, don't cry if you can't afford things essentials.
Yeah, 100%.
No one has made you do that.
Yeah, 100%. But I think it's interesting considering I feel like the general consensus behind we'll use Pokemon Go for example is it's all about the community being involved. So if you live 5 minutes from the venue, you know, you shot on cash, blah blah whatever. It's not really inclusive, then, is it?
No. It's very, like I said, for a lot of people, based on where you live in the world, like your location, you can be gatekept from like opportunities, like competing, like competing for championship points, get travel awards and stuff like that. But in that, it's life. I'm afraid. Like there's more opportunities in London than there are where I live in Loughborough.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not crying about it. Like
it sounds a bit like you're crying.
No, but I think.
No, you're right.
I think it'd be interesting to play Pokemon. Like I said, maybe invest a bit of money into doing free local tournaments where maybe you get like 5 fucking championship points, which is insignificant, but it's still something. But give people the opportunity to go and experience.
Because those people, are, like you said, going to get these opportunities to experience some sort of like tournament play. They're realistically not going to be the ones that are on your screen competing at top cuts and
for sure.
qualify
but
for
then,
worlds.
and I know what people listening will say. They go, but there's stuff on like Discord stuff. Like people, a lot of people don't fucking use Discord. They don't use for that. Like so to them that just doesn't exist.
I think also the experience is completely different because. You were the same when it was lockdown. We just mashed out the Silph tournaments, didn't we?
Yeah.
You could sit in your bed. I played tournament rounds in my pants.
Yeah.
Who asked me this? It was a new guy that started at our work. Funny enough, his name's Tom as well. But asked me because he had a Pokeball tattoo. I'm like, you play Pokemon? Like you into cards? Because I sometimes buy packs over the road and bring them over to the fucking pub and open packs. He was like, how did you get into the competitive side? Like was it just lockdown? And I was just like, yeah. I'm like,
I think it was.
No one else, like, there wasn't really, like...
There's nothing else to do.
An incentive to go out and play. Obviously, they bulked up the community days and made them 6 hours, but at the same time, it was like...
Big up the 6 hour grind.
I still did them, but, like, it was like, I enjoyed, like, battling in the sense of, like, the main games, like, I loved Pokemon Platinum.
But I think if it wasn't for, you go back to that thing about if it wasn't for them lockdown tournaments, we probably wouldn't have been as, like, close as we are, like, cause that thing of being in C&B. Yeah.
But that was the whole thing, like during lockdown, like Pokemon Go aside, it was like just keeping in touch with people and maybe like doing like something you enjoy. Like people were setting up.
Mate, Nanny Roche folded me in my first Silph tournament.
That's not a brag.
Mate, I had no idea what I was doing.
Weird flex.
I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like it's gateway. That's why they're called grassroots. It's gateway. Same way you have like grassroots football. Whereas like I'm trying to make like a Premier League analogy with like competitive circuit, but like play Pokemon, what would you say that is? Like if you're saying like Silph Road and
the Champions League,
not the Champions. It's like sort of like league football, isn't it? And then like World Championships, you're sort of like compare it to like an international tournament, like the World Cup or something.
Yeah,
and
it's the Euros.
Yeah, bad analogy, but you get what I'm saying. It's like that's what the Silph tournaments were great at. Like for people just being able to at no cost enter remotely from the comfort of their bedroom or their fucking home, or even if on their commute to work, they can just do stuff. Like they can just battle, literally. Let's go do something.
Yeah.
So let's go do something.
That 2 fair, I'm glad you brought up grassroots. It's something I actually wanted to ask you to. So obviously now Silph is gone. There's no factions. Like obviously now it's Battlefront here.
Battlefront here. Yeah.
I'm genuinely interested in this. Like, how does that stand compared to factions? Do you think it still has the same meaning?
It doesn't feel the same is because I think the website has a lot of teething issues.
I think it's hard to compare because Silph was big. Like that whole Battlefront thing is done by Google shit. Like it's all
spreadsheets.
There's no money towards it. It's so
sheets. And I love
you can't compare. You can't. The levels of it. You can't compare with that.
No. Okay, so I'm not saying that. As in, like, okay, so you have your team, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you still play with that same, I guess, pride?
Yeah, mate, I fucking love it. I love it because
before.
For us probably not, because it was like we done very well. We literally reached the highest tier.
Mate, you got straight back down
in Europe. Yeah, I mean
you got packed in.
We're not going to go into that. But we actually didn't get packed in. We were very unfortunate with the way some of the decisions went. But we're not going to go into that.
It sounds like this.
That's all. It's all under the rug now. It's all good. But like the thing is, and then we went straight back up. But like we reached the highest level, and then for us it was sort of like you know, it was around the time that Sylph was, you know, coming to its end. So it was like a lot of people kind of just, you know, didn't want to play anymore. Not like, oh, I don't want to play with the team anymore. They just didn't. Not they joined another group. They just didn't want to play anymore. So for us, like, we had to like go out and recruit and.
I kind of feel like Battlefront doesn't hold the same stature as.
I mean, everyone knows what like the Silk Road is, like in terms of like we'll say a brand and like a concept or whatever. It's like everyone's familiar with it. It was like the Silk Road wasn't only for the arena side of it and the tournaments. It was also like that's where you post like your nests and like other shit on there as well.
Yeah, but like so like I guess for me, obviously I didn't really play a lot of factions. I played 2 cycles. I won't talk about second cycle because that was shit to be honest. But like but like no, not even that. It was shit. But like for me, like the first cycle I played for London's Finest, like mate, like I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like it was like, you know, for me coming from like a competitive like experience, I guess, because I've always played competitive games.
Yeah.
Like playing for a team is like for me the best thing that you can do.
Yeah.
You know, because you know you want to win for the team. You know, you want to show
up. Yeah, Spurs you on, doesn't it?
But like I think like from what I've heard people talk about, Battlefront doesn't have that same kind of like feel to it.
I think it's like, I don't want to say it's harsh, but it's like obviously it's sort of, you know, we were supposed to, when Sylph was gone, obviously there was like a few sort of contenders to like sort of fill the void and take its place. One of them being like Zygarden and stuff, which, you know, we're still waiting on that. If, you know, Adelin, if you're listening, Zygarden, because he's meant to be solo league.
It's gone, wasn't it, after?
It dusted. Yeah. Because it was meant to be linked with like Devoncorp and stuff, but I think like what we can, you know, while we can sit here and say Battlefront 2, it's all Google Forms and docs and spreadsheets and stuff.
It's sick.
But like they came in and were like, fuck it, we're gonna grab it.
Because I was talking to Jake,
non-profit,
he knows grit.
Non-profit, by the way. So none of them went, we're gonna take this bag. We're just gonna take it because it's just what the community want.
Well, so is there like any like fundraising going on to help them?
They have a Patreon.
They have a Patreon, yeah.
Are you guys subscribed to that? Do you guys like donate to it?
No.
Do you?
No. I don't even donate to London's Finest one.
No. No, I don't have it. Don't worry. No. But okay. So okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
And so obviously, Sylph done. You know, they lost their funding, right? Sucks. Massive like uproar like from the community, like you know grassroots, blah blah blah, whatever. But then, why was there not like? And then obviously Sylph then like decided they were just going to dissolve anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess why did people like kind of why did the community, especially you know we'll talk faction side of it, you know, not donate money to Battle Frontiers to you know bring it up, if that makes sense. Because it like if it was so sad it was going, then why are people kind of not actively?
I feel like because maybe
looking to further it.
Maybe people. No, I get what you're saying. Maybe some people like it's either like financially couldn't justify, but I guess it wasn't like it wasn't on the. How can I put this? It wasn't on the forefront of everyone's mind to think, oh shit, we really like we want this back. It was sort of like, I'm trying to think of the meme. Everyone sort of looking at each other like, oh, who's gonna do it? Oh, Zygarde, you gonna do it? Battlefront 2, you can do it. Battlefront 2, just like, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna do it. And obviously, it's like, with Sylph, it was all like free entry. None of it like had any sort of financial, you know, sort of cost or anything. So yeah, it's a weird one. I don't really know how to answer. I guess it's one of those things. Like obviously, they set up the Patreon quite recently, but I feel like it's all like grassroots. It's all community led. Non-profit.
So that's not what I'm saying.
No, I know what you're saying. I honestly don't know why people didn't think. Why don't we all like chip in?
And I'm not saying it has to be like a monthly thing, blah blah. It could just be like a one-off, if everyone threw a tenner in a pot, you'd be able to build a sufficient website for that.
The same could be said. Like I'll just take it away from Pokemon Go for a little bit, but like in terms of anything really, you think like if everyone. So we'll say like globally to be extreme, but everyone donated like I don't know like gonna set you back. It ain't gonna like ruin your week or ruin your month. But like everyone donated like 20 quid. Like think about how much money you'd have, and it could be it could go towards something.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's just the people. People don't always think like that. Myself included. Like until now, I don't really. Until I'm sort of like pressed on it, I don't really think. You know what? Like if I put aside like a little sum of cash or sum of money, like I could make a difference if everyone else would say.
Exactly. So that's exactly the point that I'm making is when Sylph, announced that they were going, and then Battle Frontiers stepped out. I don't know who actually heads it.
It was
so
like
to speak.
It started as like a tournament to begin with. It was a rock paper slug. So it started as like a tournament. But then they done like sort of like a cycle, which my faction did a sort of a lot of it was the American team and stuff though, and then the way they had it split up was like you have like tiers, the same way you did in Sylph, but they were like different names. Like the top one's like legendary, and they were all like little Pokeball things. And the way we didn't really take it seriously. And then when we got into the actual like bracket, we couldn't place higher. Like they split like 4 brackets. Even though we done very well in like the 3rd sort of tier equivalent, we weren't able to like place in the 2nd or 1st bracket.
Right.
Now based on how it's going, we were like we can either go into the 3rd bracket with Americans, or we can just go into Open in Europe and just do well there, place in the highest tier, which we know we can. But it's a weird one. I don't think anyone really thought, we need to put money together. I think people, like I said, just expected someone to naturally take place.
That's literally the point that I'm making. That if Sylph going was such a big hit to the community, that
I think for a lot of people it might not even felt like that. Play devil's advocate. For that. I know a lot of people might have just been like, "Wow, Sylph's gone. Now that's me." I know a lot of people personally that have decided they're not just going to play any like grassroots. Like all they really do is GBL. They don't even come to like play Pokemon events.
Like I said, you said it completely. As I was going to say, if it was such a big hit to the community, then why aren't the community proactively looking to help and
boister up this platform?
Obviously I don't know a lot about like tech stuff like that, but realistically, I'd imagine if every member of a Battle Frontiers team put a $5 in each, I'm pretty sure you could build a pretty top-notch website to post these things on, right?
Yeah.
Like realistically.
I don't know a lot about like the data side and sort of like setting up the website and just anything like that. But like, I guess the whole premise is supposed to be like open to everyone, run by the community for the community, which it still can be with like some voluntary donations. But I guess if you make it voluntary, some people will be like, "Oh, it's voluntary, I don't have to do it." Like think about the amount of time
exactly.
had like an optional charge, and it's like,
100%.
Well, I make the option to not be charged for it. So
people
can be selfish in a sense, but I guess it just wasn't like we make it seem ourselves was so bad, and obviously it was bad, but like nobody really thought like, we are in like desperate need of like an immediate replacement that is, if not the same level, at least similar. Like a lot of people just expected probably someone to just bang a few brain cells together and just be like, fuck it, this is it now.
Like I don't know, like I said, I think now, especially like hear people talking about it, like the team names don't mean as much to people now on Battle Frontier as it did.
I think that could just come down to like not even like the format, but like there's a lot of like it had so much potential when it was Sylph, because obviously you had like people like MJ Get It and all that were doing like
MJ Get It, yeah.
That's his name.
Garrett, isn't it?
MJ Get It.
You're saying MJ would get it, yeah.
So we're talking about the first Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. MJ would get it, but like fucking no. But like
what's our next thing?
They were doing like fucking FSPN, like factions articles and trying to like build some hype around it and stuff like that. And I think even if you had a bit more, I know they have like, I think I got asked by someone recently, did you wanna do a podcast on? I think it was like Enter the Dragonair's Den. They were looking for people to do a podcast specifically about Battle Frontier, to talk about like Europe and just whatever your region was. For me, it'd be Europe, like your specific region, and sort of like updates. I think they're trying to bring that sort of element back, which I think would be good.
Yeah.
I basically just said no. I was like, I don't think I wouldn't want to like. I would want to. Don't get me wrong, I'd want to, but I wouldn't want to commit half commit to something because I don't know how much time that would take up, and I feel like there'd be better placed people that are maybe unemployed and don't do anything else that can do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to see it, but I just wouldn't. I don't feel like I'd be the one to do it.
But yeah, to be fair, that's probably a good time to round up. Good little competitive chat.
Shout out Battle Frontier. You're doing a good job. Want to get a better job? You can get some money off me.
Yeah, mate,
I just can't afford it. I can't afford
Any
it.
employers?
Yeah.
Or if you man start
He's putting out.
You man start paying me, is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
You haven't put TikToks out the last 2 days, mate. What you on about?
Let me get a video of Tom tonight. I'll just upload it.
We'll run you the invoice.
Mate. I'm not paying for anything, bro.
Oh, he wants all this guy.
Yeah, guys, we'll probably wrap this up here.
We got Pokémon Center to go to.
We do. So
talking of not having money.
Yeah, we're just gonna spend it all on like toys.
That's a mad thing to say, you know.
We're actually autistic children.
Yeah. But guys, it was episode 30 next week.
Yep.
That's a big milestone.
That is a big fucking milestone.
Are we still gonna do the episode on Monday, or did you wanna?
Yeah. No, we'll do it Monday.
Yeah. Guys, episode on Monday. So after EUIC is all said and done, we'll talk about maybe the conclusion of the tournament a bit more, but realistically, we're gonna talk about everything that goes on tonight and Sunday. So
look out for videos of Tom busting out a move.
Yeah, true.
Canary Wolf don't know what's.
If I get attacked again, we're in.
But yeah, guys, thank you.
I'm matching one on the other side.
Hey guys, thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you very much.
Shout out everyone watching live on twitch.tv/TomShow997.
Techie Tom.
Everyone watching YouTube, listening on Apple Music, Spotify. You guys are amazing.